we welcome those of you who have seen our early half of the doubleheader. The Bears holding off Houston 35-32. Here no score. Third possession for Elway and the Broncos. Third down and 7 inside the Kansas City 30. And the completed pass to Miller. That's twice they've worked that slant to Miller, and he's going to be close to a first down at the Chiefs' 20-yard line.
It's a first down. If it's touching that line, it's a first down. And that line is the 20-yard line.
So it is. Elway has been intercepted on the first possession. Mike Shanahan, the new coach here in Denver, and just visiting the Broncos and talking to players. You can tell when players like their coach.
Yeah, you can. And everybody's excited about Mike Shanahan, the way he conducts the team. And they really like his offense right now.
And that offense is out of the shotgun. Continues to tear up NFL defenses. What a pick he was in the 6th round by the Broncos.
Von Booker is the guy that misses number 99, but watch what Davis does. He cuts back to the inside. Von Booker doesn't have a chance at him because of the strength of Davis's legs, but that play was designed to go to the left tackle. He cut it back in over the center and picked up 7 yards on the play.
4 carries, 26 yards for Davis. He gets the call again. Drives to the 11. He'll be a yard short of the first down. Saliamua and McDaniels make the stop. Back on Davis, he was recruited to Cal State Long Beach when they still had a football program by George Allen. And Allen used him as a scout team runner. He said he liked me so much, he called me Secretariat. He gets his nose on, at least it's a photo finish for a first down. I think he's the winner.
Here's another deal that's right on that line, which would be this time the 10-yard line, and the ball has to be halfway over.
It's over, so that should be based if they've marked the field properly. That's a first down.
You had to throw that in, mark the field properly. You think these guys, I watch these guys. I came here last night to watch them mark this field because it's been a problem with some of the plays during the National Football League this year, marking the field wrong.
You know, a lot of folks were wondering, and I like your investigative reporting, Paul, because a lot of people were wondering why the sod was giving way on Monday night. You were up all night finding the answer to that.
Yeah, they had a circus here, folks. See that? The ball makes it half over. They had a circus here, folks, and the elephants tore it up.
Yeah, even a good side can't take that.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a good sod. Look at this.
Well, this field's holding up better today than it did Monday night, really. And even though we've had rain all this morning, I don't see as much slippage by the players as I did Monday night watching that game.
First and goal. The full 10 yards to go. Fake to Davis. Throw wide open. Sharp. Shannon Sharp for the touchdown. With his second touchdown of this season, the leading receiver for Denver with 33 coming in. Well, the punt return to the 30, and Elway in the shotgun. Finish it off 9 yards to Sharp. Jason Elam adds the extra point. It is 7-0.
Well, there you see John Elway. They faked the run left, the play they've been running all this game, and this time he fakes it. Shannon Sharp wide open on the misdirection.
30 yards, 7 plays, 7 points.
Well, here you're going to see the touchdown play the Denver Broncos just ran. You see the guard pulling, the fake to the left, and John Elway coming out in that misdirection. Shannon Sharp faking that block, releasing out in the flat for the easy touchdown.
I like that celebration of Sharp, too. That's a lot like Paul does. He starts all our production meetings out.
No, Paul can't do that. He doesn't have enough muscles to flex like that. But
Vanover at the other end. Elam's kick dying at the 10. Vanover has one for a touchdown this year, and he's hit down at the 34-yard line. 24 on the return. We've got a timeout in the Mile High City. Penalty on that last kickoff, so from the 30, Elam, and it's Vanover another chance. This guy is dangerous. Elam to beat, and they blocker gets him out of bounds at the 34-yard line. Tomerick Vanover. He has a kickoff for touchdown, punt return for touchdown, reception for touchdown.
Now watch what he does to Elam at the end. First of all, the blocking is beautiful. He sees the hole to his left. This is what you're seeing, what he's seeing. Now watch him take on the kicker. I love it. Drop your shoulder. Bam.
What makes him so tough, not only is he very young, not even 22, fifth youngest in the league this year, but he has so much speed for a man built like a linebacker. He told us yesterday he weighs 215.
He also told us he's the fastest guy on the team until Greg Hill came in.
Trailing 7-0. Kimball Anders with a block. Crockett trying to ride him down, but not until Anders has a first down at the 22, a 12-yard run.
What did Kimball Anders tell us yesterday? You know, they keep throwing me the ball. I want to run the ball. I was a great runner. Now, he proves it right here. He gets some outstanding blocks. Cash gets a good block. He gets Crockett on the outside, and it picks up the first down. He loves to run, but he says they won't give me the ball.
Keith Cash, who threw that good block, has helped off the field. As you look at Kimball Anders, he got the name Kimball. His mother was a big Fugitive fan, Dr. Richard Kimball. She said, "I'll name my boy." He says, "You know, that was a pretty good program," Kimball told me. He said, "Mom said that was a pretty good, it was on every week," he told me.
And that was a pretty good run.
You bet. Derek Walker replaces the injured Cash at tight end. Tipped in the air and complete. That was Crockett. Ray Crockett getting high to knock it away as Bono under pressure from Michael Dean Perry. And Bono has been shut out 0 for 7.
Michael Dean Perry said, "I love this defense." And here's why he loves this defense. His job is to rush. He does a move around to the outside. They have a deal, and he hits Bono after he throws the ball. But Phil, downfield, tremendous coverage.
Very good. So far, it's real. I haven't seen anybody get open down the field for the Kansas City Chiefs. The secondary of the Broncos doing an excellent job of coverage.
5 minutes left in the first quarter. 7-0 Denver. Screen it. Leroy Thompson, former Steeler, tripped down at the 17 by Lionel Washington, a corner. 4 yards on the play.
Lionel Washington saved a touchdown.
Yes, he did. That was going to walk into the end zone for a touchdown if he doesn't get him around the ankles right there. Lionel Washington's 13th year, still not afraid to get up there and make the tackles when he has to.
And still can bump and run with the best of them. Inside the 20 this year, nearly 50%. 13 touchdowns and 27 trips into the red zone. 3rd and 5. Bono wide open. Lake Dawson. And Dawson is out of bounds at the 3-yard line.
This thing starts with offensive line blocking. You can take the pass receiver, Phil. I like the blocking. Watch the time that Bono has. He sees the whole middle of the field. He sees Dawson coming across, and he's there.
Yes, it was a blitz by the Broncos, man-to-man coverage, and you saw the Chiefs running all those crossing routes underneath, and Lake Dawson did a good job of picking his man and getting wide open.
Crossing routes take time.
Yes, they do. Against man coverage, you need time. Bono got it there. That's why he was wide open.
Kansas City does not have the right personnel on the field, so Bono will spend a timeout. 3:58 left opening quarter. Chiefs trying to tie it up.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered. By Stanley. Since 1843, Stanley has been helping people do things right. By Chrysler and the new Chrysler Cirrus Sports Sedan. And by Coors Light. Shipped cold to bring you all that is great about the Rockies. Tap the Rockies with Coors Light.
Stadium, the 200th consecutive shutout here in Denver. 26 years of shutout support. 1st and goal. Marcus Allen looking for his 100th career touchdown rushing, and Dave Wyman there to greet him. Wyman, the 9-year veteran from Stanford. He still is appealing his case in the injury to Hostetler. He says, "I still don't think I did it."
Well, they think Brett Hager later in the third quarter when he blitzed and got a free shot at Hostetler is where the injury was caused. He says, I was not trying to hurt the quarterback, just trying to block him.
I've had enough injuries myself, and he certainly has. His career jeopardized several occasions. 2nd and goal to tie it up for Kansas City. Fake to Marcus. Bono! His 3rd touchdown rushing this year. Here's a guy that rushed for 2 touchdowns in 10 seasons, and he's got 3 already this year.
You know the thing about it, what a thing that Marcus Allen does for this team. Everyone knows that they want to get him his 100th touchdown, correct?
Right.
So Marcus is out in the pattern. He's downfield, and Bono takes a look and says, wait a minute, there's absolutely no orange shirts.
Yeah, we see this play last week. We saw the exact same play almost. Steve Bono walks into the end zone untouched.
Try for point by Lynn Elliott. It's a new game at 7-all. So Kansas City starts on the drive at the 34 in Denver territory and quickly punches it in.
All right, now take a look at Marcus Allen, number 32. Watch this. Bono sees him. They're watching Marcus. Look at Bono walking in. He cannot believe there's nobody there. Beautiful.
Now Tamarick Vanover's 49-yard kickoff return made it a short field for Bono. 34 yards in 6 plays, and Bono cashes it in to tie it at 7-all. 3 rushing touchdowns for Bono, and one of those was that record-setting for a quarterback run of, what was that, 76 yards.
76 yards and no one in sight.
He could still be running. Elliott kicks it off. Good depth to Milburn in the end zone, and he changes his mind. He was about to come out, and Rod Smith, number 80, said, stay there, we'll take it at the 20. Well, Marty Schottenheimer back in Mile High Stadium in Denver, where he has not had a lot of success, but he broke the chain of victories by Denver last year. As we remind you that immediately after our game here from Denver, game 2 of the World Series, Maddox with one of those classic pitching jobs last night, a 2-hitter to give Atlanta 3-2 win. Fred McGriff with a home run. It'll be Tom Glavine against Dennis Martinez tonight, 4 o'clock on the West Coast. Terrell Davis, and Davis for a couple of yards into the grasp of Neil Smith. Our televised time is 7 o'clock for the pregame, and then the first pitch is scheduled for just before 7:30. The game 2 of the World Series, as Ed McCaffrey limps off. Second and 8. Elway. And again, misfires, looking for Aaron Craver. As Phil Simms said at the start of the telecast, Elway told us yesterday does not like to throw a wet ball. And even though it isn't raining at the moment, the grass is damp, and he has had as much trouble hitting his targets in this first quarter as we've ever seen.
Yeah, he has. But what worries me, Ed McCaffrey walked off the field, was hurt, and I have yet to see Mike Pritchard, number 81, in the game today yet for the Broncos. So 2 wide receivers out. This could change their game plan somewhat.
This is when they lost before. They had two receivers out, and Sharp was hurt, and that's what hurt this football team.
Rod Smith, the 5th wide receiver, is the slot man to the right. Down the middle, wide open is Anthony Miller. And Miller to the 43-yard line and a first down.
You got to have a blown coverage here. I mean, Elway steps back, and I know he had a lot of time. Again, let's credit the offensive line. They did a tremendous job up front. They had 4 guys rushing. They don't even get close to Elway. Here it comes. Look at the blocking of the line. But in the middle of your screen, you're going to see 83. He's just drifting in there. Nobody covered him.
And I think John Elway got a good grip on that ball. From up here, we could hear it hit Anthony Miller's chest. He threw that one with some steam on it.
22 yards on the play. Miller now with 3 catches, 41 yards. And at the 2:07 mark, Elway and the Broncos use a timeout.
He did not like what they were saying inside that helmet.
That'll give us a chance to switch back to New York. Greg Gumbel has this update.
All right, Dick, out in Oakland, the Indianapolis Colts took a 3-0 lead on a field goal. This is the kickoff following. Remember, the Raiders didn't score a point on Monday night. Not today. Napoleon Kaufman, 82 yards with the return. They're underway in the second quarter now. The Raiders have the lead on Indianapolis. It's 7-3, Dick.
Napoleon Kaufman with a kickoff return for touchdown, the former University of Washington star. Marty Schottenheimer. The Chiefs had lost 11 in a row here in Denver. The nemesis for Schottenheimer, even before he went to Kansas City, when he was in Cleveland, number 7, John Elway. And John told us that even on the golf course, he gets lucky against Schottenheimer.
18th hole, he needs to chip in to win. And what's he do? He chips in to beat Marty. Marty says, what's new?
Well, and Marty Schottenheimer, since he's gone to Kansas City, he's been building the franchise. Victories, the muscles of wins. His career record, including Cleveland, 109. The only shortcoming against Elway, 4 and 11. And if you really want that sinking feeling, remember those 2 AFC championship games.
I tell you, Paul, if I stuck a needle in you, would that do the same effect?
Same thing. Go.
Bart Starr, George Halas gave the old Chicago Bear coach fits. Elway and Schottenheimer. Bradshaw loved to pick on old bum Bobby Lane against the great Paul Brown and the Browns. And Starr, Landry only got him once.
Starr got 2 of them, didn't he?
Yeah. Elway and the Broncos in a 7-all tie. First quarter, 2:07. No. Incomplete pass. Finally recovered by number 66, Tom Nalen. Mark Collins applying the hit.
What a good job of Mark Collins, staying disciplined, staying in his zone. He waited for the receiver to come across the field. Saw John Elway throw him to him, makes the hit. And really, those are the kind of passes and plays where you do get turnovers.
Kansas City with 6 defensive backs, only 1 linebacker.
Terrell Davis spun down at the 47-yard line, maybe the 48, Anthony Davis. And a flag down as Elway and Neil Smith get in a little debate back at the 35-yard line, and that flag usually means that the defender's been ticketed. Red Cashin with the information.
Roughing the passer, number 90, 15 yards, headed on to the end of the catch. First down.
You'll see Neil Smith come up the middle. Look at it, goes low there, hits him after he's throwing the ball. And I think that's what Red Cashin is throwing the flag for. Unnecessary enough roughness, hitting him late and going low.
Yeah, when you see a lineman coming in with his hands up going full speed, it's kind of tough to duck away at 1 yard. But when you have enough time to duck down and then hit the quarterback at his knees, they're going to throw the flag.
The 37, Davis caught in the backfield by Anthony Davis, who is building his biography for Marty Schottenheimer. Schottenheimer, the 2 games we've seen these last 2 weeks, has praised this 3rd-year linebacker from Utah. He said you're going to see more and more of him because all he does is make good plays.
And he's the only linebacker on the field other than Derek Thomas, but he is the only other linebacker that they have. Thomas plays the defensive end.
2-yard loss, 2nd and 12. Davis with a flag down, and Terrell Davis, that gain inside the 25 is going to be called back. 2 flags on the play.
They got holding on Shannon Sharp. That's the number 1 flag, and that was thrown by Red Cashin. He saw that one. You see a guy run around the outside of a tight end that wide open. They look right now. Holding. Oh, they hold him twice. It's got a double dipper.
The right arm and the left.
Yeah, they got a double dipper.
Holding number 76 on the offense. That penalty is declined. Holding number 84 on the offense. That penalty is accepted. 10 yards. Still 2nd out.
Dick, you're going to see this on the outside. Here's Shannon Sharp on the outside of Neil Smith. Now he grabs him by the jersey and pulls him down. And Red Cashin is looking. Yeah, Neil, he saw you.
76, Broderick Thompson, immediately to the left of Shannon, was also holding his man. 2nd down and 22. They pick up Derek Thomas, but Elway can't get it to Sharp. As Thomas, who is had some big games. 14 times he has sacked Elway in his 12 games against the Broncos.
Here you go, see John Elway. He drops back, and the receiver again is wide open. Shannon Sharpe going across the middle, and he just pulls the string a little too quick and lets it go low. But one thing I've noticed in the last few throws, John is getting used to those wet balls, throwing it much better down the field.
They went with a triple formation to the right last time. They're doing it again this time with the tight end and 2 receivers.
Flag down, movement before the snap. So this one in reverse for Denver this series.
Before the snap, false start. Number 75 on the offense. 5 yards, still 3rd down.
Brian Habib. So it'll be 3rd and 27. Well, John Elway and a couple, well, more than that, about 4 or 5 years ago. Remember the success with the shotgun with Dan Reeves? And that was when Shanahan was the offensive coordinator. Now back into that shotgun and really enjoying it. Gives him a better chance to see the full field, although there is a negative. We'll get to that. Down the middle, complete to Miller, and Miller gets a chunk of the yardage, but just back to the yardsticks, he'll be 10 yards short. What is the negative to the shotgun, Phil?
Well, they all said, Mike Shanahan said a couple of weeks ago when they decided to go with the hurry up in the shotgun, he says, John, would you want to do it? And he said, yes, but one thing you got to realize, John, you're going to take a few more hits standing back there, taking a little extra time. And John said, it's okay. I'm willing to take those few hits for the big plays.
Jason Elam has been beckoned by Shanahan, and he's going to try apparently a long field goal. Ruin, the holder, will set it up at about the 44. That's a 54-yard attempt. Elam's longest as a pro is 54. Just inside the, no, it's a fake and then a little pooch punt by Elam. And they're not going to be real happy with that. They'll mark that between the 15 and 20-yard line. At the 19 with 3 seconds left in this first quarter.
Well, anytime you kick the ball out of bounds inside the 20, they consider that a good kick.
Especially with Vanover, although they were trying to elude him. They didn't give him a chance to get in on the play.
I will be very surprised to see them punt. I mean, if a guy's going to stand back there and punt the ball, you punt the ball out of bounds to the left. Even if you're coming out of the end zone, you aim for the other 40-yard line. Don't put the ball in Vanover's hands, because if you do, you've got nothing but trouble.
Webster, Slaughter to the right, and Willie Davis left. Cash the tight end back in. Here's Greg Hill, and Hill's first carry of the game, and Dave Wyman nails him for a 2-yard loss. And that's the end of the first quarter in Denver. Welcome back. We start the second quarter tied at 7. Steve Bono, age 33. After 10 years as a backup, his first season as a starter from the opening bell. Comparing his first 7 games with Super Joe Montana, pretty good numbers. More touchdowns, less interceptions, better quarterback rating, and 1 more win. Joe even admitted half-heartedly, I thought, on the pregame show that Bono is one of the reasons Kansas City having a better year this than last. Underneath he goes to Derek Walker, and Elijah Alexander drops him at the 20-yard line. Let's go back to where Joe Montana sits, and he's with Greg Gumbel.
Right next to me, Dick. He saw how it ended in Washington between the Lions and the Redskins. Tied in overtime. Darrell Green with the interception, and then is helped into the end zone from 7 yards out 17 consecutive times. Now the Redskins have beaten the Lions. Today it's 36-30 in overtime, Dick.
All right, Greg, does it seem like Darrell Green's been playing for about 2 decades?
He intercepted quite a few of my passes, so I can relate to that situation right there.
I know. I talked to him the other day. He wished you were still playing.
3rd and 9. Bono goes long for Vanover. Vanover makes the catch. Vanover, from a heel tackle tackle. Tyrone Braxton saved a touchdown. This Vanover has become a sensational weapon for the Chiefs. 57-yard play.
Tamarick, here you're going to see him up top right here, and all he does is go down the field like this. Steve Bono throws it to him. He's really not open, but we talked about it earlier, Dick. You said his size is such a factor. Right here you see him stop, come back, get the ball, and then break the tackle. And really, Tyrone Braxton just stops him by the ankles for going for the touchdown. Going up, fighting for the ball, something a quarterback loves to see the receiver do.
First down at the Denver 23. Greg Hill. The rookie Hill drilled by Dave Wyman, and that's twice Wyman has had Hill's number.
Well, this one here, Wyman won't get fined for. This was a legal hit. Dave Wyman just steps up in the hole, and watch number 29, Greg Hill, stop right here. Bang. Now that is a solid hit.
Nevertheless, a gain of a yard. It'll be second down and 9. Thompson with Wyman again, assisted by Elijah Alexander at the 19-yard line.
You know what I'm very impressed with today is watching the defensive backs and linebackers. Of course, Kansas City's, they're only playing one linebacker, but watching Denver, their defensive backs closing on a short pattern. I mean, they're just not making any mistakes. They are just cleaning their clocks.
Yeah, that's what they did Monday night against the Raiders. What stood out when we watched the film is how they come up and make the tackle as soon as the offensive player makes the catch every time, not giving up any of those cheap yards.
Flag down, and so is Anders short of the first down. Ray Crockett played it well. Now let's check the yellow hanky that's in the defensive secondary of the Broncos.
Could be a lineman downfield. Nope.
No, that may be an illegal block on Grunard, number 61, the center, got outside. And he's the only guy that was downfield.
Yeah, he must have hit somebody before the ball was caught by the back.
So offensive interference. Steve Atwater waves it off, which would call upon Kansas City to try the field goal.
Pass interference, number 80 on the defense. That penalty is declined. Fourth down.
I saw Grunner downfield. I blamed you. I'm sorry. This is Dawson, though, number 80. Look at this. Now, there's a block downfield as the ball is being thrown, and you can't do that. You can do that in college, you know that?
Yeah, you can block it.
And as long as the ball is thrown behind the line of scrimmage, you can do that.
Lynn Elliott, a 35-yard attempt. He's missed only twice this year. For the lead. No good. Hooks it sharply left, so Vanover's 57-yard catch goes for naught. It remains tied.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Call now and have Domino's deliver the ultimate deep dish pizza by halftime. Because when it's gotta be deep, it's gotta be Domino's.
Welcome back. It remains tied at 7. Missed field goal may have been blocked by Atwater. Terrell Davis out to the 32-yard line, and Davis continues to offer positive yardage. There's Steve Atwater, the star safety of the Broncos. He was celebrating as if he got a piece of Lynn Elliott's field goal attempt, playing at a linebacker spot, and may well have.
Yeah, when we watched the replay, Dick, you could see the ball changed directions just as it went over his hand, and he was awfully excited coming off the field, so it makes me believe he did get a hand on it.
Second down and 4 as Elway out of the shotgun under center now. Davis wrestled down by Neil Smith. just shy of the 35, where it'll be 3rd down and about 1.5 yards.
Hey, one of the things in this area of the field, and especially going this way, they're going right directly into the wind. And Elway really, I don't care how strong his arm is, he knows this stadium better than anyone else does. You don't want to throw a deep ball here.
Well, when you throw the ball into the wind, the main thing is to be a little conservative. Don't take a chance and throw it too far down the field where you might lose it, hangs up in the air, and then gets intercepted.
Simeon greets Davis for a yard loss on 3rd and 1, and the Broncos will have to punt. Simeon, leading tackler for Kansas City this year, as he has been the last 3 seasons.
That was a great shot of the Kansas City defense. Howard's penetrating, and right away got in the backfield. The defensive lineman and Tracy Simeon shot through the gap to make the play for a loss.
Tom Ruin to punt, and that sensational 21-year-old Tamarick Vanover at the other end. Vanover racing with a flag down. And a good Denver bounce out of bounds at about the 16-yard line. We'll check the penalty. 50-yard punt if.
This was thrown way back by the back judge.
What's the flag?
Tied at 7. Broncos scored first on an Elway to Sharp 10-yard pass, and then the answer by Kansas City. Legal man downfield, says Red Cashin.
They're going to make him kick it again. I would. With Vanover back there, you always make them kick the ball again.
Absolutely. Punting into the wind, too. And Paul, we saw this guy last week, and every time he caught a punt, we all stood up because it looked like he was going to return every one of them for a touchdown.
I asked him yesterday if he would rather have somebody back there with him. And then, Dick, you said, well, what do you look for back there? And he said, the first thing that I do is I look at the 2 wide receivers, the one on each side, the 2 guys that are coming down. So what he said is I look and see if they're blocked. If they're blocked at the line of scrimmage right then, I know I have time to get the ball, and then I'm going to run with it. If they're not blocked, then I will think about fair catching.
Young man from Tallahassee runs a 4.4 at 215 pounds. Ruin. This one is playable. From the 25. At the 33, and flags down. 46-yard punt, 8 on the return, and let's check the flag.
Kansas City's hollering face mask. I love the players, I'd like to tell you. And then Denver saying it's against them.
Illegal push in the back, and that'll cost Kansas City 10 from right at the tackle.
See, Paul, all the players are going up begging, hoping somehow it's going to be a call for them. And all the years I played, I tell you, I begged as much as anybody.
You sure
did. It just
did.
never helped. They never listened. What do you mean, you Dick? I sure did.
During the return, illegal block, number 50 by the receivers, 10 yards, 1st down and 10. That's a timeout.
Anthony Davis of Kansas City. The penalty, and you're watching the NFL on NBC.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered. By Sealy, posturepedic support only from Sealy. And by Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. We are driving excitement.
And the edge of the Rocky Mountains, I understand, up in Vail and Aspen, they're expecting up to a foot to 2 feet of snow today and tonight. 7-all with 9:46 left in the first half. Bono, that's 7 straight completions for him after he started the game with 7 consecutive misses. Willie Davis with a catch.
Well, it was a good throw and catch by Steve Bono and Willie Davis. The important thing is, watch Willie Davis, number 84. He drives up and makes a cut. No wasted motion. Steve Bono anticipated, threw it in the only position he could, outside and low, and it was a nice catch.
Davis has 8 100-yard games receiving, 3 of those against Denver. Greg Hill into a crowd to the 35. That's plenty good for the first down. Michael Dean Perry and others in on the tackle, including number 73, Simon Fletcher. Simon Fletcher, who has been a star here in Denver, a quiet one, told us that this will be, in his 11th year, his last season. He has 95.5 sacks, the all-time record, and 5 doghouses.
And not one Pro Bowl. And that's hard to believe.
It is hard to believe with all the sacks he has.
Right, fumble the ball. Who's got? No, Bono goes down. Hasselback was there reaching 96 for the Bull.
Michael Dean Perry is the guy that makes this thing work. And because Bono sees him, Michael Dean Perry, number 95, watch his hand get in the air. Bono has to pull the ball down. When he does that, he gets help from all of his friends. But Michael Dean Perry coming upfield makes the play.
Using that rip move to get right upfield immediately, and like we said earlier, that's the quarterback's worst enemy when a defensive lineman gets in his face.
Using that cocked approach at the center's head, Perry. Bono finds Derek Walker all alone, and Wyman finally knocks him out of bounds at midfield. First down, Kansas City. 17 on the play.
Right there was just a good play by the Kansas City Chiefs. Watch here. Here's Derek Walker going to go across the field like this. Then you'll see the wide receiver go over. 1-2. That's all Steve Bono is looking for. The defense gets back, drops, takes away the wide receiver. He drops it off underneath for the big gain.
First down at the Kansas City 49. Oh, the pitch back. To Bono, to the wide open receiver, Lake Dawson, who drops the ball. Dawson at the 31-yard line.
I think Lake Dawson was waiting to get hit. I'm sorry, but Lake Dawson is coming across. Bono can't put the ball in a better position. We'll flip back from Marcus Allen to Bono, and look at Dawson. He is wide open. I swear, his head turned to look like he was going to get hit. He got nailed in the first quarter, Dick, if you remember, going across the field by Braxton. And here this time, he just dropped the football.
2nd and 10. Position of losing a yard, makes a gain of 8 on the play.
Remember last week we were talking about Hill. He runs a sweep one way and he gets 11 yards, goes back and runs for 9 yards. And we said that Hill, we'd like to see you run the ball more to the outside. He says, yeah, but there's sometimes you have to punish the other people. Now here's the time. Watch this. Bam! He just hit that water. He said, it's time. You got it. He said, they like that, when you hit the other guy.
3rd down, 2.5. To the 42. Wyman makes the tackle a yard short of the first down. That brings up 4th down, and Marty Schottenheimer with an interesting decision.
Well, they're not going to kick a 60-yard field goal. We know that. Now, the other thing is, do you want to go for it? And I think they should. Their defense is playing extremely well. This would give a boost to their offense. You got number 32, and I can guarantee you, they're either going to fake the ball to 32, Marcus Allen, or give it to him.
They're going to use a timeout, the second spent by Kansas City in this first half. Marty Schottenheimer, the 52-year-old head coach of the Chiefs, who has brought back the victories, winning teams that remindful of Hank Stram's era, 60s, early 70s, then the long drought, and one of the reasons he goes for it tough times. 4th and 1, a long one. That leaves Allen alone in the backfield.
Trying to get him outside. Everybody's in motion.
Yeah, this was just to draw Denver offside. He wasn't going for it at all.
Looks like a Canadian League offense right there, sending everybody in motion.
But you can't have 2 people in motion at the same time, so they had to wait each time till someone is set.
Well, you know, a good coach has other characters as well.
That's right. Well, that's the thing to do. We said it's about 1.5 yards, and the only thing they could do in this situation, if they went for it, was probably throw the ball with this penetrating defensive line of Denver. So, you know, it's worth taking a chance in those situations.
So Aguiar will try to dump one inside the 10. It's Glenn Milburn back for Denver. He's had 2 superb returns in this game, has Milburn. Flag down. Milburn lets it go. And depending on the flag, Denver will have it at the 20-yard line.
It was Darren Anderson, number 44, that left the line of scrimmage too soon.
Yeah, the Broncos can't hope to get much better than the 20-yard line.
That's
so
right.
One would guess they'd decline this one.
Well, I'll tell you, I can't wait to get back to Buffalo. It's nice and sunny.
Illegal motion by the kickers. That penalty is declined. It'll be a touchback, 1st and 10. That's a timeout.
That's why you're wearing the Bermudas today. 6:03 left in the half. Boy, Alan Paulson's cigar and the $3 million Classic, and these fans using a lot of creativity in their cold weather cover today. As Denver goes to work with 6 minutes left in the half, and it's Terrell Davis, nearly 10 yards on the carry before Hasty gets him down. Davis, who leads all rookie rushers this year, over 400 yards.
Derek Thomas, number 58, is going to come in and make the play, and he's holding his right arm. He hurts his shoulder here. There's the hit. He goes down, and he's down on a knee. They're going to get him out of there.
Shannon Sharp also limps off for Denver. As you see Davis's numbers, more than the Heisman winner, Salam of the Chicago Bears, coming into this week's play. Plus, he's picked up 29 catches. He has over 650 total yards, does Davis. He's not a big back. He's 5'11", 200 pounds, just 22 years of age. So Derek Thomas helped off, goes off under his own power, and Shannon Sharp limps off to the Denver sidelines. Officials, have not called for a timeout. 5:24 left in the half. Sleeting now, half snow, half sleet.
On the clock, 5:29.
5 seconds added to the clock, says Red Cashin.
I like yesterday, Dick, when we were talking to Terrell Davis. He was at Long Beach State. They canceled the football program. Then he goes to Georgia, and we said, why'd you pick Georgia? And he says, well, I was really impressed. They had 2 helmets for practice. They give you free cleats, and you got gloves. And, of course, the other thing was, it's the simple things that recruit players nowadays.
That's right. He said it didn't take much. You know,
That's right.
I wanted to go to UCLA, but they were delaying, so Georgia offered me 2 helmets.
That's it.
2nd and 1. Davis, and they try the pitch back. Turnabout's fair play. Elway goes long, too long. Anthony Miller, well covered. That didn't fool Kansas City. They only had 3 men on it.
Yes, 3. That's right.
You know, when you're talking about that free stuff, when I went to Citadel, they gave me a free uniform. Al Davis talking to me that. All right, you're talking about Miller, Anthony Miller, 83, left-hand side of your screen. You think he's covered?
You can see Mark Collins back here and James Hasty. Neither one were fooled. John Elway did a smart thing and just threw it away.
3rd and 1, and Elway fumbles the ball, and Kansas City has recovered at the 30-yard line. Tracy Simeon falls on the loose ball as Elway had the first down across the 30, but had it stripped away. The 2nd Denver turnover. Elway an interception, Elway a fumble.
It looks like John Elway maybe is just in a little too bit of a hurry right here. No, he gets a hold of the ball and just fumbles it right there. I don't know if somebody knocked. He fumbled last week there. Nobody hit him. It just slipped out of the bottom of his hands. Tracy Simeon's in a good spot to pick it up.
Did you see how wet the ball was? He said he doesn't like to be under center because the ball is wet under there when the center's rear end gets wet.
Yeah.
And that ball was slick and wet.
Another short field for Kansas City as they threaten now to claim the lead. 7-7. Marcus Allen has 5, has 8 to the 22 before Atwater can make the hit.
All right, here's Dick and Phil. Here's what I'm talking about. Look, watch this ball. Watch it when it comes out. Now they're going to in slow motion. See how wet the ball is? The ball is wet and it comes out of his hands. He never put the thing away.
Yeah, you know what happened? He hit. It looked like he hit his right arm on the back of one of his offensive linemen. I couldn't see which one it was right there, and that's what caused him to fumble the football.
Give Marcus Allen 9 yards on the spot at the 21. for the first down inside the 17-yard line before Dave Wyman and Alan Aldridge collaborate.
You see the way he sets up a linebacker? Marcus Allen runs. He looks like he's coming at the linebacker, and then he just makes that turn back into the hole and picks up the first down. That's beautiful. I want him to get his 100th rushing touchdown today. Yeah. There's a reason for that, folks. Yeah. We're going to tell you about it soon. If he gets it, but only if he gets it.
Peyton, Brown, and Riggins, the only others in NFL history to rush for the century. Oh. Flag down. Appeared to be motion against Kansas City. Right tackle Jeff Criswell raised up, and there may have been a couple of backs.
False start. Number 66 on the offense. 5 yards, still first down.
Sigler playing for Criswell at right tackle. They're sharing that responsibility. Former 49er. And how about San Francisco today with Elvis Gearback? Just smothered the Rams in St. Louis.
I watched the game, and the 49ers had 14 points and only had the ball for 7 seconds on the offense. They intercepted. Gerbach throws a pass, first one for a touchdown. Then the second pass is for a 2-point play. Unbelievable.
Bono faking to Anders and then throwing to Anders. Aldridge makes the tackle at the 15-yard line. Alan Aldridge, who played at Houston with Kimball Anders.
That was a good job by Steve Bono looking down the field first for the deep receiver. Nobody's open. Dropped the ball underneath the Kimball Anders for the short gain. And
second down and 9 for Kansas City.
But, you know, you kind of like the play call and what Bono did there, because you can't get it all back.
That's right.
Davis and Dawson right. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Lake Dawson. 14 yards on the strike from Bono.
I'll tell you what. You don't ever question Bono's arm. I mean, this ball he fired, and Dawson was there. They beat Lionel Washington on the play, but that pass was perfect.
That was the play they were trying to run when they had the illegal procedure earlier. They got the same coverage again this time. They come back with a perfect play call, and that's one of the reasons why they were able to get the touchdown pass.
Remember, Elliott missed a fairly short field goal, 35. Has this extra point, and it's 14-7. So Elway's fumble, recovered by Simeon at the Bronco 30, leads to a quick score by Kansas City. Bono to Dawson, 14 yards.
And here's how the touchdown. Watch right here. You'll see here's Lake Dawson right here. The tight end goes up here, gets rid of the safety. This safety's not getting in position. Lionel Washington is expecting help inside. It's not there. Steve Bono throws a strike right in there, the only place he can put it, and that's why he gets the touchdown.
But here's the pass. Watch this ball and how quick it gets there. I mean, that is a perfect pass right to Dawson in the end zone. He couldn't have thrown it any better.
And it's already been a happy weekend for both Bono and Dawson. Bono's Bruins of UCLA rallying to beat Stanford, and of course that incredible win by Notre Dame against Southern California yesterday that you saw on NBC as the Irish of Lou Holt show that they still got some muscle this season.
That's right. They know how to run the football. I will say that about Notre Dame. And just talking about Steve Bono, he did tell us, though, the wet balls would not bother him. And so far, he's thrown the ball with really velocity and gotten it down the field. And it's pretty impressive, really.
Where he always says it does bother him, and he's shown it today. Short kick by Elliott, very short. Taken by Aaron Craver. Craver crosses the 30 to the 32. Tracy Rogers and others. Anthony Davis in on the tackle. A reminder, we've had the pleasure of working the Breeders' Cup. It starts at 11:30 in the morning next Saturday in the East and 8:30 on the West Coast. The best thoroughbreds in the world racing $7 million races, capped by the $3 million Classic, and Cigar trying to extend what has been a wondrous winning streak.
There's my horse, Bubba. I'm riding that, baby.
Yeah, that's right. You ride that one. You might be able to stay on that one, Paul.
You'd have to cement him on that one. Trailing 14-7 in the snow showers. Elway underneath, short gainer, complete. Perhaps only a yard gain to Aaron Craver. It was tackled immediately by Mark Collins.
Mark Collins had a decision to make. Do I go for the interception, or do I wait for Craver to get the ball and make the tackle? He did the smart thing. He waited for Craver to get the ball, and then he made the tackle for a 1-yard gain.
Elway back in the no huddle. That was flipping and flopping to Terrell Davis, almost intercepted. Mark Collins was right there, and that ball had no spiral, significant spiral at all, just flopping its way.
Well, what's impressive is Kansas City showing the discipline right there. Mark Collins holding his ground, letting the offensive players coming towards him, reading the quarterback's eye. That's why we've almost seen a couple interceptions today.
But there's another example of what you're talking about, Dick, when the quarterback trying to guide the ball instead of throwing the ball in.
Yeah, he is not looking down the field right now. John Elway's looking underneath, and that's not what we're used to seeing from him.
Well, that's motion on Davis. He was going forward, and that'll nullify that game of Shannon Sharp all the way to the 39-yard line. But the cheering is false praise at the moment as Brian Washington and Shannon Sharp discuss tonight's Game 2 of the World Series.
Well, you know, the thing about what the people thought is because the Kansas City Chiefs had someone step up into the line and looked like they might have gone offside, but they didn't. They didn't see Davis in motion. Here it comes.
Illegal motion. Number 30 on the offense. 5 yards, still third down.
Third down. All right,
That's an unusual mistake from the rookie Davis. In fact, Elway, remember, early in the season said this kid right from day one in camp has made so few mistakes.
Well, on that play there, we saw Anthony Davis come to the line of scrimmage. He's the linebacker, number 50, but Davis goes up into the... You can't move. I mean, you got to be patient. First of all, Elway had to move him across on the play.
That wiped out the penalty. A 28-yard gain, the 2 minutes. Warning. In the snow at Mile High Stadium. Third down, 13 for Elway and the Broncos. 2 minutes left in the half. 14-7 Kansas City. Lots of time down the middle for Miller, incomplete. Covered by James Hasty, who's done a solid job at the corner for Kansas City. Free agent unrestricted pick from the Jets. He and Brian Washington forming half of the Kansas City deep defense, coming from the Jets, who had a big win against Miami. So Miami will be trying to break a 3-game losing streak when we visit Joe Robbie next week against Buffalo. Ruin into punt for the 4th time, and Hamaric Vanover at the other end. Vanover, fair catch at the 30-yard line. Leading 14-7, plenty of time for Bono and Kansas City. And speaking of Buffalo and Miami, Dan Marino, you think he'll play against Buffalo next week?
Absolutely. Practiced a little this week, and apparently today up in New York at Giant Stadium, he warmed up before the game, so he said he expects to be back, and we're looking forward to seeing him. That'll be one of the late games next week here on NBC. And 3 years ago in the AFC Championship, the Bills had an unstoppable play, that slip screen to Thurman Thomas, and it led to one of the 4 trips to the Super Bowl for Buffalo.
Now you could say 3 losses in a row for Miami. Marino's playing, pal.
It off into the flat to the Roy Thompson. He gets it back to the 30-yard line, the line of scrimmage.
Atwater is not in the game, Dick. They took him in for x-rays on his shoulder.
Now the top hitter in that defense for Denver out of action for the moment. Deep throw complete to Willie Davis. First down at the 44. Tyrone Braxton.
What a good throw by Steve Bono. You're going into a stiff wind right here now. Down the field, throws a shot right into Willie Davis.
Actually, that wind has turned a little bit. We got up on the scoreboard. It's going this way. Down on the field, it's coming back the other way.
Bono, the quick throw incomplete to Davis. That one seemed to slip out of his hands. As you see, some of the snow accumulating on the sidelines. As you see, it's gusting winds, and at the moment you look at the high flags, it's left to right, but down on the field, often in this horseshoe shape, you'll get the reverse effect for the passing.
One of the reasons why the hurry up too for Kansas City is they only have 1 timeout left.
Tim Houck has replaced Atwater. Bono, incomplete through the hands of Keith Cash. And third down now for Kansas City.
Right there, Steve Bono just rushed himself a little. He had Keith Cash wide open, but also he had Webster Slaughter to the left. He looked at him one-on-one, and he was open, but didn't want a chance throwing the ball down the field.
Slaughter reluctantly leaves the huddle as he is replaced. Webster Slaughter. On third down and 10. Hughes in motion. Bono dumps it off, incomplete to Anders. That stops the clock with 49 seconds left in the half. And fourth down coming up. Harold Hasselbach, who grew up in Amsterdam, Holland, and family moved up to Canada. Hasselbach played in the CFL and has become a pretty good player here for the Denver Broncos.
Has a chance to get in there since Dan Williams, their outstanding defensive tackle, is out. So Hasselbach has been in there since he's been out and done a good job.
Milburn at the other end of this punt by Aguiar. Milburn lets it go, and it takes a favorable Denver bounce into the end zone. And a touchback at the 20 with 38 seconds left in the half. We remind you at halftime, the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC halftime report. Greg Gumbel will get the insights of a man who gave Kansas City a win here on this field a year ago in a dramatic fashion, Joe Montana. Joe Gibbs and Mike Ditka, the Super Bowl coaches, also in our studios. They'll have all the scores and highlights from around the league and some more surprises today. Carolina and Jacksonville with quite a quinella. 2 timeouts left for Denver. Elway shotgun. Underneath to Davis, and he gets 11 yards. See if Elway uses a timeout. Yes, he does. Stops the clock with, well, it's still running. Should have stopped at 28 seconds. We'll take this commercial break. Shanahan first started coaching as a senior at Eastern Illinois. He was their quarterback, got an injury in spring training, lost a kidney, and had to quit football. And a year later, he was coaching under Barry Switzer as a graduate assistant, went through the college ranks, and of course head coach with the Raiders, replaced by the man on the other side of the field, Art Shell, who's now the line coach of the Chiefs, and now back as the head man here in Denver. First down at the 31. 27 seconds left in the half. Elway, a lot of time. Look at this one flopping freely. A dying quail, and a flag goes down. Anthony Miller was the only orange shirt near the play, and he went down, and they're going to wave off the penalty, I believe, as it was uncatchable.
I would say yes. I would say that's an uncatchable ball right there.
Well, you know, Anthony Miller could have had a chance to come back and get it.
Where? From off the bench? But watch John Elway right here. As he throws it, you'll watch, he just thumbs it right away.
Pass was not catchable. There is no foul. Second down.
I tell you, there still was no. I still don't think there's any foul anywhere. Here's Hasty. Well, he's got his arm out. They're locked into each other.
Oh.
Miller pushes Hasty off.
That is a bad call. James Hasty gets in good position, turns and looks back to the ball. That's just how coaches teach you to do it.
That's exactly right.
But it's a worrisome problem for Denver and their fans. Elway having great difficulty throwing accurately in this wet weather. Another flop as it goes to McCaffrey, and McCaffrey, does he get out of bounds? Yes, with a first down at the 43. 15 seconds left in the half. But again, a kind of passage that you would expect to see out there on the sandlots outside Mile High Stadium.
So is it because he grips it so tightly? Why can Bono throw the ball accurately, hard, and Elway can't?
Well, that's a good. I think that John squeezes the ball a little more with his hands, relies on his hand to throw the ball more than Steve Bono. Bono does it with his arm, and that's why they slip out of John's hand every once in a while. Wow.
another one, and this is hardly comedic, but you couldn't try to throw the ball that badly.
You know, it was so interesting yesterday when we talked to Elway, and here we'll let you watch it, but we talked to Elway, and you looked at him, and he said, the first thing he said, you know, we looked at the weather, John, and it looks like it's going to be raining, and he always has a smile on his face. He says, boy, I hate the rain. A wet ball, I have trouble with it, and man, does he ever.
Another quarterback, Troy Aikman, cannot throw wet balls either, and it's just, like I say, it's the style, how you do it, and his style is just not conducive to throwing well in this type of weather.
Changes the grip on the ball and then tries that one, and that's incomplete, as Van Johnson was the closest receiver with 5 seconds left in the half, and brings up 3rd and 10.
Hasty almost gets this one.
Well, as a coach, right here, you just say, well, we better fall on the ball because we're just avoiding disaster right here. And there even the shovel pass he flips there slipped out of his hand.
That's a Bubby Brister right there.
All right, what you have to do now is put an extra offensive lineman, give John a towel, center the ball directly back, let him wipe it off, and then throw it.
Apparently, the supply of balls are all wet and slick at this point late in the half.
Dick, I'll tell you this. The bad thing is they're going to switch balls at halftime. They bring out new ones. But as a quarterback, it's much better once they get soaking wet. Then you can somewhat grab them and throw them.
Vance Johnson, the catch is good, but it's at the end of the half. Final second is ticked away. So John Elway and the Broncos will go into the locker room where, how can I get a decent grip and throw the ball accurately? It's 14-7. Kansas City will go to our studios after these messages from your local station. Snow intensifying in Denver. Kansas City leads at the half 14-7. Now for a rundown of all the scores on this mid-season day in the NFL. Let's go to New York.
This is the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC halftime report. Brought to you by Domino's Pizza. When it's gotta be great and it's gotta be now, it's gotta be Domino's.
All right, Dick, thank you. Welcome back, everyone, along with Joe Gibbs, Mike Ditka, Joe Montana. I'm Greg Gumbel. Here are the scores and highlights right now. First of all, at Mile High Stadium in Denver at halftime, the Kansas City Chiefs leading the Broncos by a score of 14-7. The difference in this game, a 15-yard touchdown pass from Steve Bono to Lake Dawson just before halftime. What are the keys to this game so far?
Well, the Denver defense is playing pretty well. You look at Bono, he's off to a slow start, 0 for 7. He picks it back up, starts getting in there. He's 10 for 18, has 1 touchdown pass. But the big key for Denver is that they're not making Kansas City work for these points. They get a long kickoff return, sets up the first touchdown for Bono's run. The second one, Elway fumbles on his own 30, sets up another touchdown for the Chiefs. They got to start making them work for it. You bet they're not out of it yet. They've still got a long way to go here.
All right, Joe, 14-7, the Chiefs in the lead. In Oakland, the Raiders have just taken the lead on the Indianapolis Colts, 17-10. Here's how it happened. Vince Evans, playing for the injured Jeff Hostetler, 46 yards to Rocket Ismail, who got behind the Colts secondary and then waited for the touchdown pass. There's the score. The extra point makes it a 17-10 Raider lead. Up until that point, you'd have to say the Colts have been playing some pretty tough defense.
They really are. They're going to have to play good defense. But in that drive right there, Evans picked them apart. They all play action, went right down the field. He hit Brown on a couple big third downs. I think one was 3rd and 17. They made it. And then he makes a big play action pass for a touchdown there. If they're going to win this game, they can't put all the pressure on the offense and Harbaugh. They've got to play good pass defense. That series was not good pass defense.
Key game for both teams. The Colts come in at 4-2. The Raiders come in at 5-2. It's the Raiders by a touchdown early in the second half. In Seattle, the Seahawks hosting the Chargers. The Chargers lead this one 25-10 at halftime. In Green Bay, the Packers and the Vikings are at the break at Lambeau Field, and they are tied at 14 apiece. Earlier today at Soldier Field in Chicago, the Bears by 3 over the Houston Oilers, 35-32 the final score. Walter Payton, one of the returning 85 Super Bowl champion Bears. Eric Kramer looks long with a 6-0 lead in the first quarter. Good idea, because he finds a wide open Curtis Conway. Nice catch, 76 yards in all. His 8th touchdown catch of the year. Kramer's 15th TD toss. He threw for a career high 349 yards today. The Bears win at 35-32. At St. Louis, the 49ers rolled over the Rams. 44-10 was the final score. Elvis Gerbach quarterback because Steve Young out with a shoulder injury today. And this is Gerbach's first play from scrimmage. Rolls to his right and finds John Taylor 35 yards downfield for the score. Gerbach making his first career start. 49ers 49ers in the lead 6-0. Chris Miller picked off for the 4th time today. Ken Norton never scored a touchdown in the NFL, returned 2 interceptions for touchdowns, both times celebrated by beating up on the goalpost. You'll have to ask him why. The 49ers win at 44-10. At the Meadowlands, the Jets with perhaps the biggest upset of this day over the Miami Dolphins, 17-16. The fans not happy with the results on the playing field or with the rates in the parking lot. 10-9 Jets in the 3rd after a Johnny Mitchell fumble. Terry Kirby over the top to put the Dolphins up 16-10. But in the 4th quarter, Bubby Brister wins the battle of backup quarterbacks. He finds Johnny Mitchell, 3-yard touchdown, 17-16 New York. Just over a minute left. Miami looking to come back. Bernie Kosar picked off by Victor Green. The Jets snap a 4-game losing streak. The Dolphins drop their 3rd in a row. 17-16, the Jets win over the Miami Dolphins. Joe, what's the matter with the Miami Dolphins?
Well, I think everybody's trying to figure that out. Right now, the Dolphins are in a slide. I think you got to look at what's happening here. First of all, you don't expect a Don Shula team to turn the ball over like this 7 times in the last 2 weeks. And because of that, also, that complicates the defensive play. They've given up 77 points in the last 3 games. So I think there's enough blame to go around. The tough thing here, too, Greg, is they're looking at Buffalo coming to their place. They got to win games like they do, like today against the Jets, and certainly they got to get this thing turned around next week at home. Jet defense came up with 4 takeaways and registered 3 sacks today. They win it by 1 over the Dolphins. In Tampa, Atlanta beat the Bucs today 24-21. The Falcons are 5-2. At Cleveland, the Jaguars win their 3rd against 5 defeats. They beat the Browns 23-15. In Washington, Darrell Green's interception in overtime. He returned it 7 yards for a touchdown. Redskins over the Lions 36-30. At Carolina, the Panthers move to 2-5 on the year. The Saints fall to 1-6, 20-3 over the New Orleans Saints. That's it for now. We'll send you back to Denver for more after these words from your local station.
Welcome back to snowy Denver, Colorado, and it's snowing more heavily now, and we understand that what liquid there is on the field is becoming icy, and that in part explains Elway's problems, that the ball is not only cold and wet but icy. As we look at the Coors Light tap of the Rockies, that's kind of appropriate, isn't it? Halftime statistics. What's your choice there, you men at the bar?
Well, I think it's the turnovers. That's the 2 turnovers have been huge so far, and the fact that Steve Bono seems to be able to throw the ball down the field with a little bit of success in these conditions, and John Elway's not.
One of the things that's consistent about these 2 guys, they know that in bad conditions they can still throw the ball.
Jason Elam sends it short. Tamari Vanover at the 25, the 30. Boy, this man is something. Finally out of bounds across midfield. And an injured Chief on the play. Well, we've got a taste of Vanover, a kickoff return for a touchdown, punt for a touchdown, reception last week for a touchdown. He's becoming a real force on this team.
I think the one thing that they have to do, and Phil and I talked about this at halftime, is no matter what you do, you've got to get the ball in his hands somewhere in this ballgame, either short throws, long throws, but you've got to get the ball to Vanover.
That's right. He's playing receiver a little more this week, and I'd look for him in the second half to throw him some short passes because he's always a threat once he puts his hands on the ball.
Doesn't it make you itch to be down there in the snow? It's like being a boy again to be able to.
Well, I can honestly say for the first time all year long, I'm glad I'm not on the field and up here in the booth with Paul Maguire. So,
yeah, he's giving me an itch.
Yeah, that's right.
They say Vanover stepped out at the 48 in Kansas City territory. Bono into the flat, complete to Marcus Allen, and unable to do much maneuvering there. May have lost a yard. Ray Crockett covering for Denver. Marcus Allen, WCV.
He's wily because he's a veteran. He's been in there a long time, knows what to do in every situation. He's crafty, has all those sly moves, when to use them. And of course, 13 years, he's a veteran. Like all of his counterparts on his team, the running back says they can't believe that an old man at his age can still be a running back in the NFL.
WCV. Bono throws, complete to the tight end, Derek Walker, and the former University of Michigan star close to a first down at the 43.
Well, this play here, more and more times you're going to see. Now, Simon Fletcher's the guy coming up. He gets in Bono's face. These receivers, when they come out, the tight ends, they just release real quick and look real quick. Because if the linebacker, Fletcher, that time, if they don't take the fake and there's nobody open, the quarterback gets killed.
That's right. I'll tell you what I like there, Paul. That's the kind of passes in these conditions. You got to look to throw short, safe throws where the worst thing can happen is they're incomplete.
Third and less than a yard. And it's Marcus Allen with a first down as he slashes to the 40-yard line.
Marcus Allen, this is our chance to do the second game. We did him last week. We watched him on film. And the one thing, Paul, and you talk about it, he just never seems to get tackled and going backwards. He's always falling forward.
You said something about him.
An extra yard.
Yeah, you said something about him before. He doesn't let you get a solid hit on him. He's the kind of guy that you're going to get a piece, but that's about all you're going to get. He doesn't take a lot of big hits.
And the guy that Denver likes to have in there with a big hit, Steve Atwater, is not. He has not returned since leaving the field late in the first half. Shoulder injury was the report. First down at the 40, leading 14-7. Allen, 35, 30, and near another first down before Crockett could wrestle him down. 9 more yards for Marcus.
Right there was just another good exhibition of Marcus Allen. Why he's been so successful. Watch him right here. He'll come in the line. He looks. He sees nothing. Then he breaks it outside. Very patient. Waits to the last second until the defense is committed inside. Go outside once they've done that.
They gave him the full 10 and another first down. They force him outside, and Simon Fletcher brings him down for a loss of a yard. And snow now making it a greater challenge for all the athletes.
Phil, that's snow. You know how smart Sims is? Yesterday he goes out. What a nice guy. Phil Sims goes out and buys Paul some thermal underwear, you know, to wear.
Well, we can't.
I'll get back to that.
Well, we can't hardly wait. That's what you call a real tease. Folks, I know you'll want to hear the end of that. But first, these words.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered. By Magnavox. At Magnavox, we make technology people want. Magnavox. Smart. Very smart. By Jiffy Lube. If it doesn't say Jiffy Lube, it just isn't Jiffy Lube. And by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately?
Welcome back. 12:19 left in the third quarter. 2nd and 11, Kansas City at the 31 of Denver. Play action, Bono. Fires incomplete. Derek Walker, the tight end, you could see him staggering to get good footing as he reached back for that one.
All right, let me tell you my story. Phil Sims, what a wonderful human being, goes out and gets me thermal underwear to wear here and nice gloves to wear, which I thought was wonderful.
Knew your size.
Got my size, did a wonderful thing with me. And then today I came in, you have your thermals on, I have mine, and old dummy here, you know where his stuff is in his bag. He said, boy, I can't believe I'm cold.
I played a year too long, that's all I can say, Paul.
Without a helmet.
3rd and 11. Up the middle, Marcus. And Allen close to a first down as he slides to the 20. They'll say knee down where? Well, they're going to give him that slide to the 20.
I mean, you know that he's the only guy in the backfield, and watch Marcus Allen find his way through. Excellent blocking up front, first of all, folks. But then watch Marcus Allen. And at the end of this play, Phil, the nice part, up in the air, he knows where first down is, and he goes and gets it.
Good change up there right by the Kansas City Chiefs. 3rd and 11, you're expecting pass. They're running the football, trying to get in position for the field goal, and get it down to, to short yardage.
3rd and 11, they got 11 yards and a couple of inches with a slide and the first down. But check that, no, it's 4th and inches now, and Allen gets the first down. So he was just shy of the first down, but gets the yardage with 3 to spare for the first down into the 17-yard line. You know, what makes this snow as you watch this replay interesting, that had Colorado, the Rockies, won the National League pennant, this would have been game 2 here in Denver. But fortunately, weather-wise, at least the reports were good from Atlanta, and you'll have that coming up right after our NFL action here on NBC. Game 2. On first down, wide open field, carried himself and slides out of bounds with a first down inside the 10. Bono, who scored on a touchdown run of a yard. He's got 3 touchdowns running this year. Who would have thought that?
Yeah, but watch how they block everybody back to the inside. That's just outstanding blocking. Cash blocks back to the inside, and when he does that, Bono is free to run. He is a lot faster than you, Phil.
Well, he's a former baseball player, caught at UCLA 1 year. He knows how to slide. First and goal at the 8, leading 14-7. The Chiefs with the opening drive of the second half. Marcus Allen looking for rushing touchdown number 100, takes it to the 5. Lionel Washington with a tackle, former teammate with the Raiders.
Well, again, Marcus Allen really only gets a couple yards, but watch this. He breaks it outside. Lionel Washington misses the tackle right there and gets hurt. He's still down on the field.
So while they attend Lionel Washington, 10-17 left in this third quarter. 14-7 Chiefs. Quite a doubleheader next Saturday, the Breeders' Cup and Notre Dame Boston College, and some of the faithful here at Mile High Stadium as you see the snow and ice forming along the sidelines. Second and goal, Kansas City trying to build on a 14-7 lead. Ball at the 5-yard line. Cash in motion. Marcus Allen to the 1-yard line before they're trying to steal the ball unsuccessfully. They mark it just shy of the goal line. 3rd and inches.
And I guarantee you they give the ball to Marcus Allen if he stays in the ball game.
Allen was 61 yards rushing today. Many thought he wouldn't play today because of a bad ankle, and he's carried the heaviest of loads with Greg Hill just spot duty.
You know, Dick, you watched him for so many years, and how many times have you seen him in the big game?
We welcome those of you who have been watching San Diego, Seattle. We apologize for technical difficulties. You come at an interesting moment. The 100th rushing touchdown in the great career of Marcus Allen. 100 yards rushing. Only the 4th man in NFL history to hit the century mark. And Kansas City takes a 20-7 lead in a snowstorm in Denver.
I mean, isn't that beautiful? He wanted to do it last week. He said, I got to get this thing out. Now I can play football. He plays football any down anyway, but he would like to have gotten it done a week ago. But there's another interesting part about Marcus Allen, 100.
Here's a try for point by Lynn Elliott. And it's 21-7 Kansas City as the Chiefs score on the first possession of the second half.
Well, they love this play in Kansas City. 14 blasts. Marcus Allen right up the middle. Goes over the top when the defense submarines. And watch him right here. He's going to look up at the referee. You know this mitts up to him. Got that smile. 100. I finally got it.
Get me the ball. Well, it took him 6 games after number 99. Some of the others, Peyton, took him only a game, and Brown and Riggins did it in the same game. And this was number 1 as a rookie in 1982.
Is their offensive line able to push a great defense back down in here?
Marcus Allen walks in for the touchdown. Oh, my. That was kind of a casual oh, my. That was his first, as we called it, against San Francisco, and his former head coach with the Raiders, Art Shell. You know, despite what you might have read in the newspapers, there wasn't a lot of animosity between those two men. There was anger other places, and that will be a ball that will find a special place for a man who has scored 2 touchdowns this year and 122 overall in his great career, but the 100th rushing.
Dick, I must say, in 13 years, your old my has not aged one bit. That's still good.
Still works, huh? What else can you say in moments like that? This is Glenn Milburn. Tracy Rogers welcomes him at the 28-yard line, a 22-yard return. And speaking of returns, this Thursday, Frazier's return. must-see TV Thursday and a special Emmy-winning episode. Your favorite must-see comedy hits plus a special Thursday Frasier coming at you, NBC on Thursday.
And folks, there was one other thing that Enberg said after that play, that first touchdown of Marcus Allen. He said, "A star is born."
Well, he ran for over 100 yards in that game and was making moves that even some veteran NFL folks hadn't seen for some time.
Well, look at that snow and ice sticking to the players' helmets, and Denver in a tough situation right now with the ball.
Remember, Elway couldn't throw it well at all the second quarter. Davis trying to skid around the corner and gains out to the 32-yard line, a pickup of almost 4. Tracy Simeon made the tackle. In fact, it was a fumble by Elway that led to the second touchdown in the lead for Kansas City, and then Elway in the 2-minute drill was throwing a lot of end over ends.
But in order for Denver to really get back in this ball game, they're only down 14, but to get back in, he has to throw the football. They can't be content running the ball against Kansas City.
If he can't throw, do you go to a Hugh Millen, somebody that can grip it better, or is it impossible?
No, I think John somewhere, he's done it. He's played in enough wet games and situations like this. He's going to find a way to somehow maneuver that football around the field and make some plays.
Davis with an extra effort gets it out to the 35, 3 yards short of a first down.
But I think a situation like this they're ahead now, Kansas City. They know John Elway struggled throwing the football, and that should give your defense a lot of emotion and confidence to go after him and be more aggressive because they've struggled.
Miller left and McCaffrey right. Elway going to run it. And gets out of bounds at the Kansas City bench with a first down. Fans want a penalty. But anytime a player of the home team goes off the field and there's an injured well away from the play, Aaron Craver the opposite way direction from the play is down.
Look at Elway. Elway on his right hand is now wearing a glove, which is unusual for Elway. He's got a glove on his hand, on his throwing hand, and maybe that's going to be the thing that's going to determine. But that was a good play.
First down as they attend to Craver of the Broncos. 8:11 remaining in the third. We awakened this morning at 7:30. Blue skies. There wasn't a cloud to be seen. That's how quickly the storms can come into this area as they are doing some work on the yard lines. Snow continues to accumulate. Those are the gentlemen behind the play. It's a first down. 8:10 left in the third quarter. 21-7 Kansas City. Elway got a first down on the scramble. Elway with a glove on his throwing hand. This is Terrell Davis with a block. And Davis out to the 50-yard line. First down. 12 more for the rookie. There's the right hand of John Elway.
Yeah, you know, and I tell you what, in my last couple years in rain, when we had heavy rainstorms in practice, I tried these gloves that have a little stick-em to them in those situations, and it worked. I threw the ball much better because of that glove. So it'll be interesting to see if it helps John throwing the ball down the field.
Yet to try a pass here in the second half after his troubles in the first. Hands it off inside. That's Aaron Craver, who went off the field, been shaken up, throwing a block on the Elway scramble for first down, but apparently all right. Using him more and more is Mike Shanahan. Craver's a 220-pounder, played at Fresno State. 2nd and 8. As you see the other scores of the day go by. 2 turnovers. Kansas City and Schottenheimer especially a master at taking the ball away and yet protecting it when it's in your possession. McCaffrey in motion. Elway looking deep, scrambling, hit from behind and down on the sack. That's the first today for Kansas City. Vaughn Booker and Neil Smith were the men hawking Elway.
Vaughn Booker, number 99, is the guy that gets in Elway's face. Elway has really no place to throw because of the coverage downfield. And you see Neil Smith, Vaughn Booker coming back, bam.
You know, it's interesting watching Denver, their play selection. When they try to throw it, they're moving John Elway, trying to make the throwing distance shorter, something he can handle where the ball won't get away from him.
3rd and 9. And Elway looks like a quarterback draw, and then he throws to McCaffrey. the 36-yard line. Quite a play by the former Giant.
Well, this kind of shows me what John Elway, what he's thinking. He doesn't really get any pressure where he has to step up and move like this. He's looking to run before throw, but he sees he has to get rid of it. Eddie McCaffrey makes a good catch.
A flag down. It looked as if that was designed as a run, and at the last minute, Elway threw it. Was there someone downfield? Yep. Well, Red Cashin's microphone has bitten the snow, not the dust.
Well, if Elway was going to run, Joe Phillips, number 75, was in his face getting ready to make the tackle. So then he knew he had to throw the football. 75 is Joe Phillips. He's right over the guard. Now he's going to move back to the outside. He sees Elway go. Elway, he pushes off. Then Phillips is right there. He makes the hit, but that is a nice play.
Well, I don't know what the call was there because I couldn't hear Red Cashin, but it sure didn't look like any penalty right there against Brian Habib.
Third down and 13 instead of a first down. Elway gets good money on that one, but it's intercepted. No. Dale Carter diving in front of Vance Johnson, and Carter, who had an interception earlier in the game, nearly another.
That was a pretty good pass by Elway, though, Phil. I mean, Carter played it extremely well.
That'll sure make him feel better. He knows that Vance Johnson has a little step on him. John throws a line drive pass, and Dale Carter looks back just in time to make a play on it. A little too much pressure by the defensive line. Joe Phillips again in there. Did not have to go over and change that glove when he goes to the sideline now.
Boy, Carter made the Pro Bowl last year. The way we've seen him cover this year, he seems blocked to go again. Ruin, end over end. Vanover isn't going to touch it. And lets it roll inside the 10. Slides dead in the ice at the 9. You're watching the NFL on NBC. If there is a signature to Marty Schottenheimer's teams, that's it. Turnovers. He's a +2 today. He's a +10 for the year. And since he came to Kansas City, since 1990, 87 on the plus side turnovers. Pittsburgh at 39 is in second place, a distant second. And here's Marty reminding the players, even in the warm-up today. This is back at 1:30. Going at the ball, reminding his players, hang on to it, and in turn, you try to get it away. The 9-yard line. Marcus Allen running freely and not across the 25-yard line, a first down. 17 yards, pretty good blocking.
This offensive line, boy, you hit it right on the head. This offensive line, look at the hole. Marcus is in no hurry. He's just waiting for the blocks. They're just blocking all along the line of scrimmage. In that hole, he doesn't get hit until he gets hit by his own man.
Excellent job right there by Jeff Criswell and Will Shields. And that's what separates this offense from other so-called West Coast offenses. It's physical. They will run the ball straight at you.
Davis in motion. Allen, the lone running back. And another big hole up the middle. And just squeezing his way through is Allen out to the 35-yard line. A gain of about 9 more. He's working on a 100-yard game. 88 yards for Allen.
Well, you see the Denver defense is trying to penetrate. That's what they want to do. They can't get through there quick enough. Michael Dean Perry not able to get off his block and make the tackle. And Marcus Allen running hard and straight ahead and making positive gains every time.
You know, it's almost like Marcus Allen doesn't look at the ball. He knows that Bono's going to put it in his stomach.
Yeah.
What he is doing is look. As soon as that ball is snapped, he is looking at the hole.
It's like quarterbacks. Look for the hole down the field. Don't look at the receivers.
4.5 minutes left in the third. Barely able to beat the time clock here. And Allen on 2nd and 1 has the first down across the 35-yard line. Allen Aldridge with a tackle. Good news for Denver. Steve Atwater has returned, number 27, back in at safety for the Broncos. Had a shoulder problem late in the first half.
Well, we'll see how he's doing. Pretty quick here. It looks like everybody knows Kansas City's going to come out and run this ball at you right now. And Steve Atwater, Denver loves to get him up in there to participate against the run. And we'll see how he's feeling if he's able to get up in there and make a good hit.
And in these conditions, Denver, trailing by 2 touchdowns, has to be thinking turnover. They need a big hit and a loose ball. Allen. And they wrestle at it, but they stop him after a 1-yard gain. Michael Dean Perry, number 95, off the bottom of the pile. So the prediction, it was hard for us to believe when we arrived on Friday, 75 degrees, and it was that again yesterday, blue skies, but they said Sunday 1 to 2 feet in the mountains and up to 12 inches of snow here in Denver for Sunday.
That's what I like. They said 1 to 2 feet, not inches, and I have to admit the weatherman for out here was right this time.
Dead right. 2nd and 9. Anders in the backfield. Allen into the pass pattern. They throw underneath to Anders, their leading receiver this year, and he has another first down across the 45. Let's go to New York for this update.
All right, Dick, at Oakland, the Raiders combo of Vince Evans and Quadri Ishmael is hooked up for the 2nd time today for a touchdown, but watch the catch. Rocket Ishmael with the catch for a 73-yard touchdown. And the Oakland Raiders lead the Colts 27-17 late in the 3rd quarter, Dick.
All right, Greg and Vince Evans, the ageless one at age 40, leading the way for the Raiders. And here another ageless veteran, 35-year-old Marcus Allen in the snow. Takes the handoff, first down, and Allen Aldridge captures him for a yard loss.
Dick, in his 2nd half with Bono, he's thrown the ball 4 times. He's completed 3 for 19 yards. So that one was a 10-yard pass play. So he had 2 out of 3 for only 9 yards. But that's control.
Absolutely. And every one of them's coming off of some type of play-action fake, Paul. And the success they've had running the football on first downs is setting up those easy completions for Bono. And I would think they're going to continue that trend of doing most of their passing off of play-action fakes.
2nd and 11. Marcus in motion. Fake to Anders. They're looking for Allen, and they go underneath. Almost intercepted by Braxton. Tyrone Braxton had his eyes set on that one all the way. Danon Hughes, the intended receiver, and Braxton very close to the turnover that Denver desperately needs.
Braxton 3 hits, offensive receivers none. This is the 3rd one for Braxton. I mean, he did 2 in the first half, and here's 1 here in the 3rd period.
Really not a good decision by Bono. You're leading by 2 touchdowns, and you take a chance like that thrown across your body in the snow, and really the ball should have been intercepted.
This is a good weather day for a guy from North Dakota State. Triple right, and then handoff to Leroy Thompson, and Simon Fletcher not fooled a bit. Atwater there to help out. So the drive stalls at the 45-yard line on Kansas City's half of the field, and in comes Aguiar.
That's a good call, though, first of all, because the play before the clock had stopped. They want to get this clock moving. Now they're getting inside. It'll be inside of a minute when Denver gets the ball in the 3rd period. It was a good call. You break it, fine. If you don't.
5th punt by Aguiar, averaging 46 to lead the NFL coming in. Milburn stands at his 15. Short dime kick toward the sidelines.
Get away!
And takes a Kansas City roll. Barely. that was maybe a bagel, not a roll. Timeout. Welcome back. Final minute, 3rd period. Kansas City leading by 2 touchdowns. One of the unrestricted free agents from Washington, selected by Denver, Mark Schlereth, and he certainly is more than a number. Affectionately earned the tag Stinky while he was with the Redskins. He's the only NFL player that is a product of the state of Alaska. Played his high school ball in Anchorage, and then on a scholarship to the University of Idaho, and made the Pro Bowl in 1991 with Washington. The Stinky comes from the fact that his sister, who taught in an Eskimo school, said that they have a real delicacy there where they cut off the heads of salmon. They bury them in the sand for 5 to 6 weeks, and then they eat them raw, and they call them stink heads.
Boy, I'll tell you, that and the cold bud would be really good about now. I just couldn't wait to have that.
So Stinky in there at left guard, number 69, and blocking for Davis, who protects the ball out to the 20-yard line, a 5-yard gain. How'd old Stinky do on that one, Paul?
He got trailer 94. Trailer's in there. Here comes Stinky 69. Watch this. The blocking is absolutely super. Takes the trailer right on by the hole. Nice play.
So the key is to get your hands up around the nose of the defender.
That always helps.
Yeah, you know, a face mask is good there, and especially if you put that oil from that salmon head on your body, they kind of stay away from you.
Final seconds of the third quarter. Snow humor continues, and that's really no humor, I guess, after these messages from your local station. And then you explain to your wife why you waited till the end of the game. You don't want to miss a play, and you left the lights on in the parking lot. 2nd and 5 for Elway. Gets out of the tackle, and he went open, doesn't get away this time. Neil Smith with his 5th sack of the season. May have gotten a piece of the other one earlier in this half.
Elway just waited too long. He's trying to make something happen, and this is where mistakes come up. Elway should have thrown the ball away or just take off and run with the ball. Look at the time that Elway has the ball, and Neil Smith is from all the way to the other side. He is blocked, but Neil Smith keeps coming, and here's where mistakes happen. When you wait that long and hold that ball that long.
6-yard loss, and Neil said, hey, I'd play this game 2 of the series. Elway again, lots of time. No one there, and covered well by Anthony Davis. Was the intended receiver, Terrell Davis, and here comes a flag. A late flag thrown, and perhaps Davis, in the judgment of the official there, too soon.
Well, both guys are going for the ball. Anthony Davis, now, did he hold him before? This is an automatic first down. You know, Terrell Davis is going against Anthony Davis.
Gonna have you lip read.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that. Hold on. First down.
Well, the all-22 right here is you're going to see him come out of the backfield, and you're going to see the tight coverage and beat line. But look down the field, all the receivers, everybody's covered, and John Elway really has nowhere to go with the football, and that's one of the reasons why we almost have this turnover. But right there you can see, hits him before the ball gets there. Davis, this is a little too early.
Watch a break for Denver. They get a first down on that short pass. Over the middle, complete to Ed McCaffrey, who has caught 16 coming in. 5th-year man from Stanford, an unrestricted free agent. Actually played at San Francisco last year. Was a member of your Giant Super Bowl team.
A good receiver over the middle, and he's earned a nickname out here, and he wasn't too fond of it, Forrest Gump. They all make fun of Eddie, run, Forrest, run, when he's running down the field. But Eddie has good speed and has been a good receiver over his career so far in the NFL.
He's got that compass gait where he's running north-south, but the legs are going east-west. Terrell Davis, short yardage on 2nd down. It'll bring up about 3rd and 4. Joe Phillips using his 310 pounds to make the stop.
Now, this is a defense that Kansas City started at the beginning of the game before the snow and everything was coming. 4 down linemen, and using Thomas as a down lineman. 1 linebacker, Davis, and then 6 defensive backs. And they've basically stayed with that, Phil, this entire ball game, and it works.
It really has worked. And what it does, Paul, is just giving them speed. And the other thing they're doing, they're not changing their defensive coverage. It's the same coverage almost every single snap.
Shotgun, Elway, complete to Shannon Sharp, and a first down at the 33-yard line.
John Elway, that glove in this second half, and one thing he's done, I think he's got a little more confidence throwing it down the field right here. Shannon Sharp is just going to hook it to the outside. Well, it's not real pretty, but at least it's getting down there and they're catching it.
Good catch by Sharp under the conditions.
Are your lips getting a little cold?
Just a little.
Elway stays with the shotgun and gives to Davis. Fumbles the ball, and it's kicked right back into his grasp. It was going forward to Neil Smith, and Smith about to scoop it up, and Vaughn Booker, 99, and Booker knocked it right back into Davis's mitts. What's this?
This is a great break. Booker here, and look at this. Right back into your hand. You know, you got to get a little lucky. But, you know, I got a feeling that the Chiefs wouldn't mind if Denver goes down and uses about a 10 or 12-minute drive and score a touchdown. It wouldn't bother him.
Former Bronco Keith Traylor, 94, made the tackle, and Elway picks up his own fumble and then is tackled by Vaughn Booker. And Booker acting as though the snow's getting to him there.
Vaughn Booker, he's eating some of those snowballs, those little ice balls he's got to. Look at Vaughn Booker. I mean, the reason you get this sack, Vaughn, is your hustle. That's number 1. And number 2, the ball is dropped, and you get to Elway. You didn't stop.
That's right, and you got to give the right tackle, Broderick Thompson. He's expecting Elway to be back behind him. The defensive player makes a move inside, let him go. You know, John's not supposed to be there.
3rd and 15. Underneath, wide open is Aaron Craver, and Craver fights for what might be a first down. Let's see where they mark it at the 42.5. It'll be very close, shy about a half yard of a first down. Brian Washington made the tackle.
11:29 and counting. You've got to go for it. I mean, they haven't been able to do much at all, and to punt the ball back to Kansas City now, with Kansas City running the football, taking 3 or 4 minutes off the clock, being down by 14 points, you have to go.
You go under center here then on 4th and less than a yard.
I think you go under center and you let Elway take the ball. You can't afford to have a mishap. He's got to call timeout.
He ran out of time. It was down to about 4 seconds on the play clock. A crucial play coming up for Denver.
NFL on NBC is brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered. By the newly restyled Toyota Corolla, we're looking forward to tomorrow. By Hewlett-Packard Printers, HP's print quality brings your home and business documents to life. And by Red Dog Beer, bold yet smooth, unusually easy to drink. You are your own dog.
We return at a critical juncture with 11 minutes left in the game and down by 2 touchdowns. Mike Shanahan going for it, 4th and a yard at his own 43. And breaking through the middle is Aaron Craver for a first down across midfield to the Kansas City 48. 8 yards, and Craver stumbling, shushing his way, if you will. Had only 1 man to beat.
Davis gets an excellent block up into the hole. Craver just stumbling down. But I'm going to tell you something. The footing has been super in this game, Dick. They've had problems throwing the football, catching the ball, but actually running the football, these guys have not had much of a problem.
They spotted at the Kansas City 49, and Elway goes back on first down into the shotgun. And Neil Smith has another sack. The 4th Kansas City sack today.
All right, Phil. Now, you talked about the advantages of the shotgun, the disadvantages of the shotgun with the offensive line.
Well, no question. We talked to Mark Schlereth yesterday, and he says the big problem is the defensive linemen know that John Elway is always going to be standing about 7 yards deep behind the center. They know what to shoot for, and that's why as the game goes along, it gets harder to protect the quarterback in those kind of situations.
Roderick Thompson, the tackle, with his hands full, trying to stop Neil Smith. 2nd and 18. Elway, Smith chasing him. So is Traylor. Gets it to Vance Johnson, the veteran of the Three Amigos, with a catch on the sidelines and a first down inside the Kansas City 40.
This is what John Elway does so well, and this is what Marty Schottenheimer said we don't want to happen. Don't let him step up. When he moves, he's looking to throw the ball down the field. Does a good job of getting it outside to Vance Johnson. Hey, I think the glove is working for John Elway in the second half.
Might work too next game.
Vance Johnson back healthy and enjoying himself, he said, more than ever. Elway to Craver. Craver fell down and was in contact with Vaughn Booker, but there was no whistle, and Red Cashin, after hearing Booker's argument, says, you're right. Got a little ice in my bubble there in my whistle, and it's play down at the 40-yard line.
Well,
loss of 3.
He looked at the umpire. Look at the back judge, Charles Stewart, or the line judge, and he said, did you blow the whistle? Because I didn't. Cashin couldn't blow it, I don't think.
2nd down, 13. Anthony Miller to the left, and Johnson to the right. McCaffrey slotted right. Good protection this time. Now Elway's throw. Complete to Miller. First down. Inside the 25.
What a job of that offensive line. Giving him so much time to look all over the field and find the open receiver. Here you see Anthony Miller going down the field. Good coverage by James Hasty, but John Elway just has too much time. You can't cover receivers down the field that long.
One of the things that I just saw the defensive linemen do, they try to do a deal in the line. You don't have that much time with Elway to make a deal. What these 4 guys have to do is line up and just come straight up field.
They mark it right at the 25-yard line. 8:38 remaining in the fourth quarter. 21-7 Kansas City. Fake to Craver. Elway going for 6 to Johnson, and Johnson held up. Elway thought he was going to continue. Dale Carter on the coverage once again.
Dale Carter is playing a wonderful football game. He is just on receivers like glue.
Yeah, he is, and it's a good job here. Again, you see him against Vance Johnson. Again, it takes John a long time. He does the play-action fake. Dale Carter sees the fake, stays with him, keeps those hands on him, wants to know where that receiver is.
What happened to the illegal chuck? That rule doesn't apply today?
That was just touching. That wasn't chucking.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Second down and 10 from the Kansas City 25. A long drive for the Broncos. Underneath. And Craver caught by Carter. Another good play defensively by Carter as he allows only about a 2-yard gain.
All right, now that time the Kansas City Chiefs sent a blitz. They sent Anthony Davis up the middle on a delayed blitz. But the thing that was confusing me was Craver and Vance Johnson were both in the same spot when the ball was thrown.
Yeah, I think it was a screen, and they were trying to get Vance Johnson the block right there. And Paul, we could see it. If he gets past those two people right there, Vance Johnson get a block, there's not another defender on Kansas City even in the area.
Threw it behind his receiver, and Mark Collins there to make sure. So 4th and 8. A field goal, and that's the 7:47 mark, just doesn't do it for Mike Shanahan. He has to go for it 4th and long.
And one thing that the Denver Broncos now, Dick, have to contend with is the last 2 plays in a row, they've sent Davis, the linebacker, and a defensive back. They're sending 6 people. They're blitzing Elway. And to me, that is always the best way to defend against this hurry-up shotgun offense.
Right, get in his face. That's what they did those last 2 plays. It'll be interesting to see right here where they play it safe or send the linebackers again.
Safe.
Good time for Elway. Pass intercepted by Carter. No flag down, and Carter has his 2nd today and out of bounds at the Denver bench at around the 35-yard line. 31-yard return by Dale Carter, and he has had back-to-back weeks, last week and this, an all-pro fortnight. While the snow falls in Denver, Dennis Martinez and Tom Glavine getting ready for game 2. We'll switch you immediately at the conclusion of this game down for the World Series coverage. Dale Carter with his 2nd interception of the game has given Kansas City the ball at the 35-yard line. And that's where Marcus Allen goes to work. And Allen looking for a 100-yard day in this snow. Has 10 yards on that carry and a 1st down. And that is 100 yards for Marcus Allen. Let's go back to the interception by Carter. We thought he got away with a push.
Well, he pushes here. That's okay. Takes his head up. Here's the push right there. He pushes Vance Johnson away. Then he pushes him again and then makes the interception. You can see Vance Johnson. He turns. He looks at the official. What do I have to do?
Well, that was a snow call, perhaps. You allow a little extra to go on, but he definitely, that would be a flag in most games, wouldn't it?
I would think so.
Denver's hopes on this Sunday as Marcus Allen running as if the weather conditions were perfect for a guy from San Diego, California and Southern California.
This is impressive. Of course, everybody knows Kansas City's going to run it. They're still getting yardage, but I never forget last week we were talking to Marty Schottenheimer and the coaches for Kansas City in tough situations. And today in this climate, Marty was probably worried about turnovers. So that's one of the reasons why we've seen Marcus Allen so much, and Greg Hill didn't get in the game except for a couple carries.
Well, we showed that Kansas City has just dominated that turnover table. No team even close in the 90s, and he's a +3 today. 2nd and 1. Allen adding to his 111-yard total, and he's just eating up chunks here, about 10 a bite.
Denver says he fumbled the ball. But you know the thing about it is, you talk about Marcus Allen, you talk about all these guys, Bono throwing the ball, the guys catching the ball. But this offensive line of the Kansas City Chiefs, they've had their way all day long. And the defensive line, they've done a great job getting in Elway's face and making him throw bad passes.
First 100-yard game of this season for Marcus Allen. He's well over that.
Okay, go to.
He started today actually 1 yard behind Greg Hill for the club lead, 3:11 for Hill. And now has 23 100-yard games. Barry Sanders with Thurman Thomas, Emmett Smith ahead of him. Injured Chief on the play.
And that's Marcus Allen. He started walking off, and they came out to him.
You want to go, John?
They taking a blow around the helmet. Little woozy, starry-eyed Allen, as Kansas City looking to go 7-1. Boy, this weather rougher than 7th grade arithmetic right now. 21-7.
That's the best 3 years of my life, was 7th grade.
And Kansas City dominating 5.5 minutes to play. Marcus Allen helped off the field, and Greg Hill has replaced him. And here's the second-year man from A&M, burrowing his way to the 31-yard line, a gain of 4. Marcus with a brilliant day, his 100th career rushing touchdown, and over, well, 122 yards rushing for Allen, one of the stars, along with Dale Carter on defense for Kansas City.
And, you know, again, the offensive line, what a great job they did. But when they hand him the ball back there 7 yards deep, Phil, he makes it look so easy. He glides.
It's one of the reasons why he's been doing it for 13 years.
He's an old man. That's what
Greg Hill said. Yeah, he's an old man. I can't believe he's still playing.
And here is Hill. Grew up in Dallas, Texas, and Greg Hill said, I was meant to play football from the day I first saw life. He said, my grandmother brought in a Dallas Cowboy pennant and draped it over the little plastic cribs they have in the nursery in the hospital. He said, folks looked in to see little Greg just born. Already there was the Cowboy pennant. He said, you want a fan? It's just not me and my family. He said, all my family knows football. But they're fun to be around, like Thanksgiving when Kansas City goes to Dallas, huh?
He said 22 tickets, no more. That's all I'm getting.
3rd and 3. Hill. No. Bono keeps it. Fletcher chases him. And look at that Bono outrun Fletcher. He is right at the yardsticks. Close to another first down. Bono, the Elroy Hirsch of 1995, is galloped for 76 yards for a touchdown against Arizona. He scored on a 1-yard run today. He has 3 rushing touchdowns in 1/2 a season, had 2 in a 10-year career. It is a first down. Here's a man I have tremendous admiration for. Here's someone who literally had accepted the fact that no one in the National Football League thought he was good enough to play. He had started his stock brokerage training with Merrill Lynch, was on his way to New York for training. And here he is at 33, about to lead his team to the best record in the NFL this season. Dallas with a bye, 6-1. First down, draws a traffic. Let me go back and just underline that story a bit. He was picked in the 6th round by Minnesota. Didn't play much. Then Pittsburgh used him. Went in the strike season. It took a strike in '87 for him to get to play. He was a replacement player. We'll finish the Bono saga when we return. 3.5 left. Weather conditions to test the spirit of even the best of Bronco fans, and a few remain with 3:32 left, and Kansas City with the ball and a 14-point advantage. This is 2nd down and 8. And Davis hit hard, pushed back, lurches forward inside the 20-yard line. And back to Bono. In 1989, Pittsburgh let him go, put him out on plan B. Anyone who wants him can take him. Just call Bono. Well, no one did. So he started the stock brokerage training. But there, you know what? You'll believe this. There's more to the story.
All right, Dickie, come on, baby, give us that mini-series. Lay it on us.
This is like Roots, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
In '89, he said he was about to go to New York, and the phone finally rang. It was Bill Walsh in San Francisco. They had Young in Montana, and Kevin Sweeney, a rookie from Washington State, said, we want you to just come out and make it tough on Sweeney. And Bono did. He won the 3rd-string job, 5 years in San Francisco. Finally, a big money contract. Here he is in Kansas City as their starter. So I guess there is a moral to all that. that, you know, even when you look for another occupation, that if you've got the skills, somebody, and in this case, I guess Walsh was a genius to see the potential in Bono.
And one thing about it, too, Phil, and you know you've had a lot of backup guys behind you, is patience and knowing what your role is. And this man was extremely patient.
Yeah, he was really a terrific backup because he never caused any waves. He always worked with the starting quarterback, and that's important in this business. Paul, we know if you got so-called 2 starters, what you really have is no starters, and he did a good job with that.
All right, here's a 4th down and about 2.5, closer to 3 yards. Greg Hill doesn't get it as Steve Atwater and Alan Aldridge team up on the tackle, and Denver takes over on downs.
Now, you wonder why they don't kick a field goal in that position, because they're only up by 14 points. Well, there's 2 minutes and 33 seconds to go. First of all, they're kicking into the wind. That's number one. Too many things can happen on the exchange. And a block, yeah, and they get a quick touchdown. Make them go the entire distance of the field.
James Jones hooked up there with one of the...
Danon Hughes, number 83.
I thought that was a 63 going after James Jones, but the little wide receiver is saying he wants to have some extra activity.
I think it's the snow. It's affecting his decision-making out there, picking on big guys.
So Elway with the magic man, they call him here in Denver, but it'll really take some terrific stuff for him to pull this one out. Terrell Davis fighting his way out to the 30-yard line, and a first down. 2:20, 2:19. Broncos do not have any timeouts. Very loose, deep defense for Kansas City. Elway twists away, throws for Davis, incomplete. Covered by Anthony Davis. Terrell Davis by Anthony Davis, and it was Keith Traylor making life tough for Elway before he threw. 2-minute timeout. Final 2 minutes of this game in Mile High Stadium under snowy, wet, cold, icy conditions from the opening bell. Dick Enberg with Phil Simms and Paul Maguire. It's been a tough day for the Broncos off 2 outstanding wins. The turnover is crucial. 3 turnovers by Denver. Kansas City has capitalized as you see the battle of quarterbacks. Bono throwing the ball much more accurately. Elway having a miserable time throwing accurate passes in the first half, wearing a glove in the second half. Now in a desperate condition. No timeouts left. Throws to Davis. Davis works the sidelines and stops the clock as he crosses the 35-yard line. And we welcome those of you who have joined us looking for Game 2 of the World Series. And as at the conclusion of this game in Denver, we will indeed go to Atlanta for Game 2. Tom Glavine for the Braves. Dennis Martinez, who clinched it against Seattle, will be on the mound for the Cleveland Indians. 7:27 first pitch. So the way this is going and no timeouts left for Denver, we should get there in time for that first pitch of the game. Fravor leaves no one in the backfield now for Elway, who throws a wobbler incomplete to Anthony Miller. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 6. They'll make that closer to 5.
Boy, Elway had a terrible time in the first half of this ball game trying to throw this football. Philly just, I mean, right before the half ended, I mean, it just looked like he'd never played before. He couldn't get a ball thrown straight for about 4 yards. And here it is now 4th down. They're going to go for it, which they have to do. But he had a terrible time. Then he came back out in the second half and put a glove on, threw the ball much better.
Well, he might have learned something today, getting these conditions again. He'll start the game out with those gloves on and maybe get a practice in with them, and it should help him in these kind of conditions.
Over the middle, complete, but not enough for a first down. As Aaron Craver tackled by the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Chiefs take over on downs and can now celebrate a 7-1 start, their best since their Super Bowl IV victorious season under Hank Stram in '69. And with Dallas enjoying a bye week, 7-1 represents the best record in the National Football League.
And that really speaks a lot for Marty Schottenheimer. We met with him last week. He said, last year I did such a terrible job of coaching. He actually said he might have eased up on the players a little because of the salary cap, those kind of situations. He didn't want anybody to get hurt. This year he went back, tough practices, doing things his way. And usually in this league, when you do them your way, that's when you have your most success.
Denver without a timeout, so it's just a couple, 3 kneel downs for Steve Bono. Bono, who threw for 1 touchdown pass and ran for another. Marcus Allen with his 100th career rushing touchdown. Lots of reasons for the Kansas City boys to celebrate tonight.
The nice part about this, any nicks and bruises that they got in this ball game, guys that were hurt from before, they've got a bye coming up. And man, what a time to have it right in the middle of the season. Get all your people ready and then go to the second half of the season. This is a good football team.
They really are. The key is, Paul, and you said it, they really got almost all the players they had from last year. They didn't lose free agent players. And then they added Tamarick Vanover, James Hasty, 2 outstanding players. That's why they're 7-1.
And the Denver jinx for Marty Schottenheimer perhaps will be buried now after a win last year. Montana in the final seconds, throwing the touchdown pass to Davis, and then the win today. And Marcus Allen with 122 yards rushing. First Kansas City back to rush for 100 yards here in Denver since Ed Podolak 21 years ago. 21-7, one more kneel down by Bono, and Kansas City goes home not only fortifying their position atop the Western Division of the AFC, but they are unbeaten in a division that has every other team with at least 2 losses. In the snow, the Kansas City Chiefs on a day that figured to be Denver's weather opportunity. It's Marty Schottenheimer and his Chiefs who go home victorious. Much more yet to come. Baseball and football. Stay with us. Once again, our final score, Kansas City 21, Denver 7. This is Dick Enberg along with Phil Sampson, Paul Maguire saying so long from Mile High Stadium in Denver. Enjoy the World Series tonight. You've been watching the NFL on NBC, home of Super Bowl 30.
The 95 World Series, the Breeders' Cup, Super Bowl 30, the NBA Finals, the Olympic Games, all on America's sports leader, NBC.